The next session is fantastically exciting because it also shows you how fast all of this is moving. When we started trying to put this together 6 months ago, we thought of having a strand in the conference which would say what machines can't do yet. And we thought we were going to have singers and comedians and dancers and, we are going to have the creative arts infuse this program so that there would be this little countercurrent, the holdout humans that are not being overtaken by technology. Because the idea was that AI, technology, all of these things, cataclysmic change we're talking about, the one preserve that would be safeguarded was human creativity, compassion, and communication. And in just 6 months, that's an obsolete conversation. You're going to see things today that, as I said, if you've used Sora, it completely blows your mind because it is blurring the boundaries between the real, the unreal, human creativity, machine creativity. We spoke earlier about tectonic changes where human beings' skills have been replaced, but this session will show that we truly are poised in our very beings and essences to be replaced. So to discuss this massive crisis or opportunity in human creativity, we have a fantastic audience. I know many of you thought Amir Khan will be here, but there's a very big personal crisis that has stopped him from coming, and his shoot schedule changed. But we have an amazing petabyte of intelligence and data that's going to come on stage right now. Please welcome on stage the inimitable Javed Akhtar, superstar lyricist, screenwriter. Next, please welcome again, superstar director, a person who has an AI algorithm in his head because he knows how to churn out hit after hit after hit, Rajkumar Hirani. We again have another fantastic director, who captured human emotion with his very first film, Masoom. Please welcome Shekhar Kapur. And then please welcome the Trojan horse, the AI masquerading as a human being who can sing in mimic 54 voices, sing in 10 languages. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sonu Nigam. Okay, so, what I was saying is that just barely 6 months ago, like I said, you could tell, some of the visuals that you saw, it's hand-drawn. You can tell the difference between humans and art-drawn, or technology-drawn. We're soon going to be seeing visuals which completely blurs those boundaries. So Javed Saab, recently there's been a huge lawsuit by writers, actors, Hollywood went on strike, where they said that AI is a massive theft at a systematic, massive theft at a civilizational scale, and they were trying to take the creators of AI to court. They lost that case, but it explains the kind of anxiety that the creative community is feeling about AI. What do you feel about it? Do you think that human creativity is in danger of being replaced?
No, I don't think that at all. You see, there are different disciplines of art, like singing. Now, there are many songs which Sonu Nigam has not sung, somebody else has sung, and they have put Sonu Nigam's voice on it. Now, this is sheer exploitation. They cannot use this popular voice for their own profits and without the permission and without the remuneration to the person whose voice is this. So obviously that is a violation of the copyright. I think now the time has come when the voice, like words, like composition, can be stolen or taken away from the person. Then the voice should also be registered and it should also have a copyright. That's all. Now, when you come to, say, special effects, that's not my problem. It's good if you can create Japan and Bombay. So you will save a lot of money. Good. I have no problem with that. And I don't say that the Japanese should have copyright of Japan. But at the same time, my concern or my thought is about writing, whether prose or poetry. I don't think it will be possible for
Yeah.
artificial intelligence to match with the talent or with the creativity of the writers. That's not possible.
Why
I'll tell you
is that?
Let us define what is creativity. First of all, we think every poem, every tune, every couplet is creativity. Wrong. Most of the poetry, most of the novel fiction, most of the writing, novels, short stories, plays are emulative. They are a part of some trend or copy or heavily inspired from some other thing. That is anything which has been emulated, anything which has followed some trend is not creative. Creative means the word creation means anything which was not there before. Now, the source of artificial intelligence is data. It doesn't have imagination. It doesn't have passion. It doesn't even have an unhappy childhood or a mother who died early on him or a father who was, if not alcoholic, irresponsible. They have nothing of this sort.
Right. With Javed sir,
To compete with us is not possible because they have a conscious mind to some extent. That is all artificial intelligence has. But it doesn't have pre-conscious. It doesn't have subconscious. The major part of your memory, the major part of your feelings are not even known to you. So how, if you don't know the contours of a human mind, how can you copy it? It's not possible.
That's very interesting, Javed sir. There are just two things that I would say to you over there, which I'll bring others into, is that when you said that this is a copy and it's, creation is something that didn't exist before, there's a counter argument that people give, which is to say that all human learning builds on the backs of others, backs of what has gone before. It's not that you're so sui generis that absolutely nothing went before. So there's that, yes, you're not paying for it in the same way, but all human creativity arises out of something that's gone before. So that question about data. And the second was that, yes, AI doesn't have one wounded childhood, but actually it has 7 billion wounded childhoods to feed on, because it's literally mapping the emotions of all of us and has all our memories. So I'm just going to bring everyone in and then ask you to respond to that. Shekhar, what about you? Are you excited about this? Do you feel threatened by it? What's your elemental gut level reaction to AI? And I just want to point out to the audience, we showed you the film prior, where you could tell, as I said, what was human and what was not. Everything you see here is not real. It has been generated just by writing something that's in your mind. I want to see a woman walking down Tokyo looking sad. You've got somebody there, and I'm not sure any of you can tell whether that's a real actor or not. So that's where it's reached in just 6 months. And they say that this is at the level of infancy. It's not been released to the public because they're saying it's too crude yet. It's going to, exponentially get better. So Shekhar, do tell us, what is your reaction to seeing Sora and to human creativity being competed on like this?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. Any tool that helps anyone, the competition is what drives us, right? Right now, I run a school of hip-hop and a school of animation in Dharavi in Mumbai. I'm one of the patrons. There is a 13-year-old kid sitting in an animation school who will soon be making a film that I will have to compete with because that kid is driven, that kid has the tools. AI is giving that kid the tools to create a movie, right? Doesn't have to go search for money and everything. And I've seen, all of Sora, what you're watching now, is created by non-filmmakers. It's just created by, machines. But the other question, what Javed Sahab said rightly, is so more interesting. When I was making Elizabeth, first film outside, Kate Blanchett, everybody.
Can everyone hear Shekhar at the back?
I can't. Okay.
Look, we can't.
Can you hear me now? No? I'm famous for my voice here. Anyway. Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to speak louder. I hope I'm not
No,
shouting.
actually, it's when you're speaking louder, there's even more reverberation.
The voice is not coming from here, that's why. It's not you. You're fine.
Oh, that's AI speaking.
Shekhar, Shekhar, speak softer than it's clear.
How's this? Is this better? Okay, all right. So when...
You have taken me too seriously.
It's okay, I'm taking myself too seriously. All right, yeah. So, question, when I was filming Elizabeth, it was Kate Blanchett.
Not slower, only softer, Shekhar.
I'm desperately in need of AI here. Okay, so when I was...
Okay, can someone from the console come and fix this?
If I can't hear him, then I wouldn't respond.
Yeah, he can't respond because he can't understand. Okay, you want to come here? No. Will you come? I kind of know what they are thinking because we had chatted earlier.
नहीं नहीं
उनको भी नहीं आ रही है बस।
muffled voice.
It's not just
Huh?
me. Yeah.
Raise this level. Will you raise this? Raise this. Okay. Sonu, you can hear now? I can hear you. Okay. Shekhar.
Is this okay?
It's perfect.
Perfection. Wow. Okay. So I was filming Elizabeth in London, and Kate Blanchett knew more about Elizabeth than I did. Almost everybody in the set seemed to know exactly what to do. And I was faced with a very existential problem, which was, who am I? Why am I here? What am I doing here if everybody knows what to do? So I called everybody and I said, I'm going to give you the 3 most important words to describe creativity. And they all came and said, oh God, here goes this director. He's going to tell us. Yeah, sure, come on, give us the 3 words. And the 3 words were, I don't know. So that's the most essential part of the creative act, is to not know. To not know. So what do you know? What do you do at that moment? You can plan, but the moment only comes when the moment comes. And the act of creativity comes when the moment comes. And where does it arise from? Who knows? Because you don't know. You just pray. It might come from some akashic circle. It might come from a speck of dust that raised and suddenly reflected something. So the whole idea and the great idea about creativity is, because you don't know, you're hoping, you're praying, you think something, you're afraid, all of those things. So I'm not certain when we say that can AI hope, can AI pray, is AI afraid? The fear of not being able to create a word or anything, can AI fear?
But Shekhar, the only sort of pushback I would do here is that it may not, and the very important thing a lot of people are saying, in fact, Daniel Susskind, who will be speaking after this, says that it doesn't matter because it doesn't need to feel these things, it's approximating these things, you know, and it is generating things which are of equal quality. So it does not need to feel any of this. Even our feelings are obsolete, you know. What it is doing is that it is able to, as I said, cannibalize all of human creativity that's gone before. And what is interesting is that it is being, I mean, this is presuming that you like some of our visuals,
No,
but this is not predictive. It is something we've put in something. There is creativity in what the machine is doing
Shoma,
as well.
you just said the 2 most dangerous things ever. 2 words. Approximate everything and cannibalizing everything. And anybody who comes here and says, because you can approximate everything and cannibalize everything, AI is better than the human mind. I'll tell you a little story. When I was a kid, here in Delhi, we used to go to Simla, Missouri. Constantly, I would come back with stitches on my knee, hurt, and my mother said, "Ki karta rehta hai yaar? Tu kuch to kar yaar. Take care of yourself." Here's what I did. I would run down the mountain, run down the flowing river, and come to a point where there was momentum, and I could not stop. I knew that. So every time I put my foot on one boulder, I had to see that there are 2 other boulders I can get to, otherwise I could die, I could fall. But
Fear.
I could have an AI thing which said, idhar jao, udhar jao, udhar jao. But what drove me was fear. I was addicted to fear. That fear drove me. So AI can't feel fear, it can describe it. Look, I'm just going to take this time. I did ChatGPT, give me Masoom 2, give me a script. 100 scripts. Each one of you, if you go to ChatGPT now, just go and say, give me a plot for Mr. India 2. All of you will get it from ChatGPT and each one will be different.
No, so
right?
in a way you're contradicting yourself because you're saying, yes, I'm not talking about whether it exactly mirrors human creativity. We are saying it's become an absolute competitor to human creativity. Because like you said, you're very excited. It's giving you scripts of Mr. India, which you are excited to possess.
You misrepresent me. It's not. I'm saying that when we went from film camera to digital camera, I got another tool because that camera could shoot people I can't see. You can see it. So AI is giving me another tool.
So you're saying it's a tool. Raju, I'd love to bring you in here, and Sonu, even though you couldn't understand, I'll mediate. You couldn't hear. Yeah, so I will. Raju, what do you feel about what both Javed Saab and Shekhar said? One, that it doesn't have a treasury of memory and of experience and emotion. And he's saying it doesn't feel fear. So it's just a tool. But
it doesn't feel fear, it doesn't feel love.
Any emotions, any emotions.
Any real human emotion.
Right, but it's still producing something which made Raju definite. I mean, I'll let you say it yourself. So one is that, how do you respond to that? Second is this whole idea of a story itself. There was a time when, particularly, say, a country like India, films that all of you have made, Javed Saab's scripts, your films, Masoom, 40 years later, people remember it. Story was a glue, it was something that bound a society together. Now, all of us, we've already seen with TikTok and social media, we can all be in our own cocoons of entertainment and attention. Now, a story also you can generate yourself. So everyone will be in their own little cocoons of their own stories. So what will be even the future of a story? So one, your reaction to AI, and second, your reaction to what will be the value of a story after this.
So we may love it or hate it, but AI is here to stay. And I've also extensively trying to see what it can do. So actually this morning I was trying to understand what is creativity? Creativity actually. How do we as human beings create? Forget AI. So I think we create from our memories, from our experiences, from what we've read, what we've seen. Whatever is inside us is what we finally output. We've gone over the years a step ahead. We have hired research assistants. If you're working on a subject, like I was working on PK, I would say, okay, go and research more about God, religion. So you will read those materials and try and write something from there. And now there's AI, which I think is actually a collective experiences, memories of millions of people. And it's creating it very fast. So till there, I think it's a great research tool. As Shekhar said, it gives you 5 scripts for Masoom. You will get options. You can, but I don't know whether it is intelligent actually. It's intelligent, but whether does it understand emotions? Because we also don't understand emotions. When you write, I don't know how it gets created. We really don't understand. And I'll do something actual. This morning I sat down and I said it might be a great experiment. Let me go on ChatGPT and say, write a poem in Javed Akhtar style, English, Hindi, whatever. And then I'll pick up some Javed Saab's poem and ask it to write. And very honestly, it was smart, it was rhyming very well, but there was no emotion. So I said, maybe it can't match Javed Saab. Let me pick up something else. So I picked up something which had come on WhatsApp. I'll just read it. I picked up some random poem which came, I don't even know who's written it. It's about the art of letter writing. How we've lost the concept of how letters vanished. After this phone came with WhatsApp and messages, the nostalgia of letters vanished. So it's a simple poem. Then I asked ChatGPT I tried various 10 different options, gave it various this thing, and I'll just read it out. This is in Hindi. It says, खो गई वो चिट्ठियां जिसमें लिखने के सलीके छुपे होते थे, कुशलता की कामना से शुरू होते थे, बड़ों के चरण स्पर्श पर खत्म होते थे और बीच में लिखी होती थी जिंदगी। नन्हे के आने की खबर, माँ की तबीयत का दर्द, फसलों के खराब होने की वजह, कितना कुछ सिमट जाता था एक नीले से कागज पे। Anyway, it's a very long one. I won't go into it. I'll just quickly shift to, I gave...
So this is what AI generated?
No, this isn't. This is it came on WhatsApp. I don't even know who's written it.
Right. So,
Then I gave a similar prompt to AI. Say, okay, write a very nostalgic poem about losing the art of
letter
writing, what it meant then. And this is what it wrote. In days of old, with pen in hand, we'd write. Each word a journey, each line a delight. The scratch of ink upon the page would flow. A tale of love or loss or joy we'd show. So it again goes on.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's got everything. What is missing? It's got the intelligence to start in a particular way, talk about the relevant things, but what is missing is the emotion which hits you here. It might get there, you never know, it might get there, you know. Today the joke is that we go on a computer and it asks you, identify that you're not a robot. So I don't know who's human or who's robot. So it might get there, but as of now, I think, so to answer to your next question, I think yes, this will democratize the process of making films, writing songs, writing everything. Everybody, from the slums of Dharavi, as you said, everybody will be able to make films, but I think the people who would survive will be the masters. To bring that unique story, you'll need masters to survive out there. And why do you want to, why creative people want to create? There's a very fire in your belly, you want to say something. You're not creating, I can create an image, let me create an image of a woman walking in Japan on a rainy night. No. It's something you want to say. So that fire will come from an individual. So who will be able to use that fire with these tools will be able to create better, I guess.
Right. Sonu, Raju, you did a good approximation of fire right now, because I know that when you first saw Sora, you did have an absolute moment of panic, where you said, wow, like
I knew I'm going to go out of business after this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to come back and press you on that. Sonu, let me bring you in here. They all said that it only approximates creativity. It doesn't have this gut feeling or gut treasury of emotions. So I want you, of course, also to speak about that. But the second point is, what is art if there's no endeavor? So this AI, if you can see those, this is just, you said it's a woman walking down Tokyo, Raju, but that's just a prompt for now. It's, that's just because it's at a test stage. What you do with it is completely not yet tested. But Sonu, it's able to create this without any endeavor. And as this moves forward, one will be able to create art without effort. So do you think that that idea of human effort, so much of the mystery of art is, how did they do this? How do they do it? How does a sportsman do it? Now there's apps which you just write a word and it picks up music. You say, walk down a street in Florida and I want it in R&B or B.B. King, or Drake. And it's able to do that instantly. So, or you hum a tune, na, 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 and the orchestra is picking that up. So what is art without endeavor? Are you excited about it?
In the last 33 years of being in Mumbai and being in the business, I have often come across art without endeavor. So I feel AI is not a threat to people who really aspire to excel in their craft. The passionate filmmakers, the passionate writers, lyrics writers, composers, singers. AI is a threat to all the people who just randomly write lyrics, who randomly compose, who randomly write scripts, who randomly make films. It is a threat to them.
I don't actually want to be the naysayer here because I'm petrified of what's happening even while I'm enjoying using it. But since all of you are in such unbelievable agreement, which I wasn't expecting because this is not what you all were saying to me off stage, but this is like a coup. It's a human coup, Man badal gaya, it's really like that. But
no, I didn't. I'm okay to, take the best. I feel there is a beautiful equilibrium in the universe. It gives you something, it takes away something. They were like, we used to write letters, we used to choose our envelopes. Neelabala, your card, your whatever, and then we would write it down and post it, put a stamp on it. It had a process that we followed. Now we don't do that. So either we miss that process or we enjoy the instant replying facilities. So we have to choose what we want to, how we want to take anything new that's come in the world. When something new comes, like Lata ji, Rafi Sahab, Kishore Kumar ji, there were 8 to 9 singers at that point. Mohammed Rafi, Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, Kishore Kumar, Mukesh, Sarat Mahmood ji, Mahendra Kapoor, Geeta Dutt ji, Mandar Desa. 9. Okay, they ruled. Why? Why not a 10th? Because you didn't have the option to sing a song in edited process. You didn't have the option to sing the Mukhra first and then go to the Antara and then go to the second Antara, and then if there's a third Antara, you can take it again, and then the Coda, if there's a high Alap or whatever. You didn't have that option. So these 9 people made sure that they excelled in the art of singing a song one stretch. Can I continue? Okay. Now, by the time I came in 1991, you could break into the song, do a Mukhra, and you can start the Antara. So from 9, we became 20, 21. There are more singers who came, who could do the Mukhra and Antaras in one stretch together. After a decade, you could do lines. So, har ghadi badal rahi hai roop zindagi, cut. Chhao hai kahi. इसको दोबारा लेते हैं. छाँव है कभी कभी है धूप जिंदगी. Then we were 200 singers or 500 singers. वो बढ़ गए. उसके बाद में you could cut a song between the line. हर घड़ी, घड़ी ठीक नहीं यार. हर is fine. घड़ी, घड़ी लेते दोबारा. That's when music composers thought they should also become singers. And then came a point when you could just say, हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, छाँव है कभी. Then you could do ha 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 ha, har is okay, ga 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 घड़ी बदल रही. This is, then we could record the song this way. That's when the actors thought we can also become singers. So technology comes, brings something new, and then it takes away something also. So you have to look at, I mean, should I be insecure? Itne singers kyun ga rahe? Or should I be happy that more people can now become singers and cherish the art of music that I'm cherishing? Because on stage, you can't do all these gimmicks. Stage is a litmus test. So I should be happy with what I have. So in artificial intelligence, also the same thing. It'll take away something, will give you something beautiful. And that's what we have to look at it.
Yeah.
देखिए आपका माइक भी ऑफ करवा दिया.
I won't even dare to speak, Javed Saab. The console is working against me, not you.
She always invites me and never lets me talk. If you don't believe me, see my debate with that gentleman. What was his name?
Sadhguru.
Sadhguru.
Okay.
Let us talk of the basics. What is creativity? Is creativity a process of only conscious mind? Can I consciously and in a most planned manner, looking at my song that I've already written, write a song which will be effective? Or make a composition which will be effective and unique? No. The fact is, you ask any creative person, the creativity, the process of creativity often surprises the person who is doing it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is something we are not understanding. Absolutely. Like, you see, your conscious mind takes a decision that I have to write a poem on hunger. Now, first of all, you can't borrow the pain of hunger from 1 million people. You have to experience it. One. Point two, if you write about hunger with a total conscious mind, then you are a journalist. You're not a creative person. It goes like between countries there is a no man's land. There is a no man's land between conscious mind and subconscious mind. Poetry and real art is created at that no man's land. You have taken a problem, you have taken a project, and you live with it. Like, I'll give you a very ordinary example, that you have lost your keys. You look for it, you don't find it. And then you are talking about maybe USA, and suddenly you remember where your key was. You had kept that in the bathroom. Then you remember. Why? Because a part of your subconscious is looking for the key consciously while you are talking about other things. It is working. Same way, when you take in a topic on conscious level, but it goes into the alleys of the brain, of the mind, which you don't know about. You have no idea वहाँ क्या-क्या रहता है, कौन-कौन सी memories हैं. And then it works on it and comes and meets the conscious mind in the no man's land. Now, why it has to meet the conscious mind? Because every art has two factors. On one side, you have passion, you have fantasy, you have dreams, you have imagination. But on the other side, every art has cold-blooded surgical craft. Conscious mind gives you the perfect craft, and that subconscious mind offers all that you were looking for. When you are writing or when you are composing, you feel surprised. I have experienced it once or twice in my 50 years career as a writer, that I was surprised that how did I know this word? Where I had heard it? How did I know this metaphor? It comes to you, it was somewhere in your subconscious. You know that subconscious is like a camera, audio, video that captures everything, but it is not at your beck and call. So if you have requested the subconscious to help you, it takes its own time. And then it offers you that you are not aware of, and you feel surprised. You say that it can be written like that. Believe me, you can ask any writer. What I write in a closed room of a hotel in Pune, if I am writing and I get tears in my eyes, the man in Jabalpur will watch that film and he'll cry in that scene. If I write it smartly, AI is a very smart machine. If I write smartly, it won't work there. It has to come from the heart. It has to come from your subconscious. To think that creativity is a conscious process is not understanding what is creativity.
So, Javed Sahab, you know...
Just a second. I have... अब एक बार मौका मिला है तो माइक तो नहीं छोड़ूंगा ना आसानी से. Another thing. I have done maybe 200, maybe 180, I don't exactly remember the number, with Shankar. Suppose Breathless, which I'm sure all of you must have heard, forgive me for this immodesty, was not written, not composed, not recorded. And I would have asked AI to do a song, make a song in Javed Akhtar's vocabulary and style, and the kind of composition should be of Shankar. Do you think was there any chance to for AI to give us Breathless? No. Because before Breathless, there was nothing like that in the world.
No.
We could do it, only we could do it. AI could have never given us Breathless. Maybe it would have given a song which was familiar,
but sir,
style, my style,
now,
but not Breathless.
But sir, now, if you want, you can say, give me a song like Breathless. That's what AI
So
AI
it's
comes.
a good copycat, one. Another thing, I would like to keep AI as my secretary. Because suppose water is not coming properly in a locality 24/7. Now we have to write a letter to BMC, Bombay Municipal Corporation. Do you think I'll waste my time on it? Or ask AI to write it? So AI is good for these things. You should have AI with you, and AI will be a perfect secretary to you. But when you have to do something really meaningful and sensitive and deep, do it yourself.
Okay. I'm going to ask Shekhar to respond to this, but I just wanted to say one thing, Javed Saab, which is that as a man who adores and loves science, that when you're talking about the subconscious, even consciousness is actually made up of stimuli and data, you know. Yes, it's a particular lens in your mind, which is taking particular data and not looking at other data. The interesting thing, just 1 second, Javed Saab.
An average human brain has 10 billion neurons, and an average neuron is connected to 25,000 neurons. Give me a machine, then we'll talk about it.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying, that it only has 10 trillion right now, not 100 trillion. But the interesting thing is that already at this level of 10 trillion connections that, say, the latest ChatGPT has, they're already talking about emergent qualities, Javed Saab. So a little bit you all are mocking this because you haven't, I think, used it as much yet, because it is having emergent qualities, Javed Saab, and those who have created it are themselves saying that we are not understanding what exactly the machine is doing. So yes, it is trained to a certain level, but it is because of this complexity of stimuli, which mirrors, you know, Geoffrey Hinton and those who are called the godfathers of AI, they created the neural network by going out actually to understand how the human brain works. So this is a mirror of the human brain. It's a much lower level of it. And already emergent qualities are coming out. And as someone who understands science and likes it, Vidita Vaidya will be talking about it, others will talk about it, that what is the neurochemical origins of emotions? You know, it's not in some mystical space.
It will be a very pompous and false claim that we understand how human brain works.
No, not that we
the
understand.
best neurologists in the world will tell you that we are moving on the edges. We don't know how human brain works.
Okay.
That's a fact. They know very little about human brain. There are two things, two big mysteries now left. One human brain, another universe. They are equally mysterious. And we are sitting on the shore of an ocean and looking at the waves. That's all. That is our knowledge.
So, Shekhar, I'm going to ask you to respond. You said that you were very, very excited with AI. Is it just as a tool and a secretary, or do you think that it's going to become a creative collaborator with you, or a replacer of you?
It's, there are certain things that we all believe in that we have to express. I don't believe that creativity lies in the human brain, and now Javed Saab and I always have this. He says it. I think because we have this little skull tissue, if we take the skull tissue out, our neurons floated in the air, we'd be absolutely sure that we are connected to a creativity that lives in the universe. I believe when I worked with Rahman, and he says, tune nahi ban rahi, main zara bathroom jaake aata hu. It doesn't take half an hour to go to the bathroom. Well, namaz, he goes to say his namaz, and he comes back and gives me a tune. What's he connecting to? So I don't believe this. I believe that there is a certain idea about our understanding about the brain that, you know, when I go out here and we talk about this huge thing that we're saying, human intelligence, it's the arrogance of ourselves that says human intelligence. It's the intelligence of arrogance. I go outside and I sit under a tree and I understand the intelligence of a tree. I understand the intelligence of the environment. I understand the intelligence of all that exists. Am I not part of that? Or am I just so individual that all creativity lies in me, out of which I create? So what I do agree with Javed Saab completely is that if I'm not surprised at the next scene or the way I shoot my next scene, I know I'm wrong.
Sorry, you know?
I know I'm wrong. I have to constantly surprise myself. You know, when we were kids, we used to say, she loves me not, she loves me, she loves me not, she loves me. What is that? That is the fear that she doesn't love me. It's the fear of mystery. Now, if I apply AI to that, you'll go, she loves me, she loves me, she loves me, she loves me. Where's love? If it's not mysterious, if it's not uncertain. So where do you find it? So I'm just going through all these things. But what I love about AI is the other day I was sitting and somebody said to me, oh, AI, and it'll take away all the jobs. There was a cleaning lady behind me, older. She obviously had arthritis in her knees. And I said, let's ask the cleaning lady, right? Do you like your job? She said, no. Do you want to change? Of course. 95% of people don't. Now, what AI will give them is the opportunity to be creative. AI will give everybody an opportunity to create. Why should I be the only one? I got the chance. 1 million people don't get the chance. That's what I love about the democracy of AI coming down to the people, and they can look at AI, they can look at ChatGPT, and they say, oh, now I can create something. Now, is it going to be as good as me or Javed Saab or anybody? Maybe they'll be better. Maybe they'll find something else. But at least it'll provoke them. That's why I think it's the greatest tool that it'll be giving to humankind to develop themselves, to extend themselves, to extend who they are beyond sweeping the floors or doing a job which has been going on since the Industrial Revolution. This idea, oh man, wo to job karte hain, job loss. What job loss? No job loss. Creativity, the human endeavor going up now. That's what AI will give us.
I'm so glad all of you feel this optimistic. You know, let's talk 6 months later. We've been talking to a lot of technologists. I think this is moving very fast. It has a kind of depth to it that we are not entirely understanding. There's a mimicry which is terrifying, and I agree with you. Right now we think there's a mystery to being a human. I'm not sure, but I'm very happy to have all of you enforce this or reinforce this idea. So, Sonu, just for the moment, just humor us. गाना गा दो प्लीज प्लीज सिंग
ये बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है मतलब
आप एआई से गवाइए ना सोनू की क्या जरूरत है गा लीजिए एआई से वाह सोनू
Javed Saab, I think just we were born under a particular star when I don't want to be your adversary and I end up being your adversary.
नहीं वो सही है एक बात मैं और कहना चाहूँगा बिफोर वी हियर अ मच बेटर वॉइस कि आप ह्यूमन ब्रेन को भी अंडरस्टिमेट कर रही हैं जिस तरह से एआई इज बिकमिंग बेटर एंड बेटर सो इज ह्यूमन ब्रेन
आई वाज अबाउट टू से सेम थिंग
उसके बाद ह्यूमन ब्रेन तो ओवर द सेंचुरीज ओवर द मिलेनियम डेवलप हुआ है मगर अब साइंस ऐसी जगह पहुंच गई है जहां वो उसको पुश कर सकती है ह्यूमन ब्रेन को ये मेरा कहना नहीं है ये स्टीफन हॉकिंग का कहना है ये कार्ल सेगन का कहना है कि आप जो बच्चा पैदा होने वाला है उसका मेंटल इंक्लिनेशन क्या होगा वो एक पेंटर बनना चाहेगा कि सिंगर बनना चाहेगा कि आर्किटेक्ट बनना चाहे दैट टू साइंस विल बी एबल टू डिसाइड एंड डू इट एक उसका आईक्यू जो है वो हंड्रेड्स ऑफ टाइम बेटर कर देगी साइंस तो बच्चे सुपर रेस बनने वाली है बहुत जल्दी दूसरी ये कि आपको एक अजीब बात बताऊं A tiny part of brain does only one function. It multiplies. It doesn't add, it doesn't subtract, it doesn't divide. It only multiplies. Multiplication is a process that was invented by Greeks some 3,500 years ago. See it in the Google. So what was this part of the brain doing? Maybe waiting for the proper job. And it became activated the moment the part gave. So we are using a 10% brain. So new things will come and the brain will expand and expand and expand. It is not only AI. We will make even better machines than AI because we can think.
I did not want to be an ambassador of AI, but since I've been put in that position, right now I'm going to allow the stage to just reinforce the beauty of human creativity. So Sonu, genuinely, not to make you perform, but could you share a song that shows us the soaringness of the human voice?
Before that, I'd like to just reiterate what he just said. See, there was a time when we, of course, we didn't have the mobiles or smartphones at that time. I used to wear a watch that time. I don't need to wear a watch now because my phone has everything. And I remember, because I was a very keen learner I came to Mumbai to become a singer at the age of 18, so my studies could not continue. But I used to keep reading and learning new words. So I used to carry a dictionary back then. In the aircraft, I used to read books, and if I didn't know a word, I would write the meaning of it and learn about it. Today, I don't need a dictionary because everything is there on my smartphone. So now, if I want to know about a subject, I can go on the Google. So I am a better learned man than I could have been 30 years back. What he just said, technology. So AI definitely is a huge asset, and it's not going away. It's going to facilitate people like Raju Hirani, as he said. Suppose he's working on a subject. AI will give him better demonstration reference points which he could never have access to earlier. And he will have lots of ammunition by his side. But the end result will need that human acumen, the human intelligence, because perfection doesn't necessarily mean excellence. You can be perfect. You can have a perfect film, perfect singing, sur mein, taal mein, lyrics bhi kya baat hai wo hai. But excellence is that extra edge, that human endeavor, as I said. Because I have worked with a lot of composers, he knows the names, composers and lyrics writer who just had a template of making a hit song. टेबल पे बॉटल पड़ी है बॉटल में पानी टेबल पे बॉटल पड़ी है बॉटल में पानी 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 बॉटल बॉटल पानी पानी बॉटल बॉटल पानी पानी तो अगर आप 4 बार ये गाना सुनेंगे टेबल में बॉटल पड़ी है बॉटल में पानी पानी बॉटल तो आपको गाना इरिटेटिंग है बट कैची है यार कुछ तो है इस गाने में सो AI of course, it's not ऐसा नहीं है, but I have seen a lot of composers making such random compositions, lyrics writers, ऐसी तुकबंदी के लिए rhyming, पानी तो तेरे जैसा कुछ नहीं है, सानी, है ना? तूने मेरी बात नहीं मानी, तो इस हाँ मर गई तेरी नानी तो ऐसा भी दिखा. So AI will for the people who want to put that special touch into the ultimate craft, AI will ammuniate us, definitely. But the people who really are passionate into the work, they will definitely make the best use of AI. So these are very interesting times.
So now, as I said, since I have so many wonderful human performers on this stage, आप तो जा नहीं सकते without do something from your heart, a soaring song that speaks to you from your vast repertoire.
Now from the heart. Okay. अपने ही करें क्या? निकले थे कहीं कभी निकले थे कभी हम घर से घर दिल से मगर नहीं निकला घर बसा है हर धड़कन में क्या करे हम ऐसे दिल का बड़ी दूर से आए हैं बड़ी दूर से बड़ी देर से आए हैं पर ये न समझ कोई हम लोग पराए हैं पर ये न समझ कोई हम लोग पराए हैं. Sorry for the goof-ups of the world, of the words. I haven't sung this song on stage as yet, so words, lyrics writer साहब के सामने गलती कर दी, माफ़ी चाहूँगा.
Currently
AI नहीं हूँ ना इसलिए.
Currently, I'm thinking this is a very misplaced conference. Let's dismantle this. 100 to humans, 0 to AI. This is pointless conference. So we are running out of time. Actually, I did want to ask you some more questions, but Javed Saab, it's too much of a treasury to have all of you on stage. तो आप भी, please recite a poem that is from your gut. You've been talking about your subconscious. From your vast library, serve us something human.
देखिए, अब समय नहीं है तो एक छोटी सी पोएम सुना देता हूँ आपको। ये कभी लिखी थी जब मैं रोमांटिक पोएम्स भी लिखा करता था। अभी तो सिर्फ गाने लिखता हूँ, पैसे मिलते हैं इसलिए, रोमांटिक गाने हैं। मगर ये फ्री में लिखी थी। एक्चुअली आई पेड फॉर इट। मैं भूल जाऊं तुम्हें, अब यही मुनासिब है। मैं भूल जाऊं तुम्हें, अब यही मुनासिब है। मगर भुलाना भी चाहूं तो किस तरह भूलूं कि तुम तो फिर भी हकीकत हो, कोई ख्वाब नहीं। यहाँ तो दिल का ये आलम है, क्या कहूँ कमबख्त। भुला सका न ये वो सिलसिला जो था ही नहीं, वो एक ख्याल जो आवाज़ तक गया ही नहीं, वो एक बात जो मैं कह नहीं सका तुमसे, वो एक रब्त संबंध, वो एक रब्त जो हम में कभी रहा ही नहीं। मुझे है याद वो सब जो कभी हुआ ही नहीं।
Dedicated to
AI
AI.
को वो नहीं याद हो सकता जो कभी हुआ ही नहीं।
Exactly, yes, the same thing. मैंने यही बोला, dedicated to AI.
Abhi Javed Saab, 6 months later, please come and let's talk again. जी, आप कभी सोचते नहीं कि you will be able, you're saying वो that which did not exist cannot happen through AI. Did you ever think that you could write a word and a picture would come on screen?
I'm sure we have extremely bright minds in this world and they'll make AI better and better. But remember, AI will improve because some people's mind.
Right. So Raju and Shekhar, you're directors. They have skills that AI can't yet replace. But you're both directors, so if you don't want to be replaced, you better show us your wares as well. So Raju, give us a dialogue. Shekhar, give us a dialogue. Something that you really pulled out of your gut, out of that wounded childhood that Javed Saab is saying is the crucible of creativity.
ये AI जो है, एक इनकी गांधीगिरी एक टर्म इन्होंने वो की थी, बनाई थी। ये इसकी ओरिजिनल और ऐसी अजीब टर्म AI कभी नहीं बना पाएगा, हिम्मत ही नहीं पड़ेगी उसकी।
I think the difference is writers, singers, directors, all artists are more philosophers. And philosophers are, I think, slower than engineers. हम तो सदियों से सोच रहे हैं कि पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ क्या है। इंजीनियर्स तो हमको रोज नया पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ दे ही देते हैं। सो पिछले 1 साल से मुझे लगा पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ है इंस्टाग्राम के लिए रील्स बनाना। जो नहीं बना सकता वो रील्स देखना, घंटों तक लगे हुए हैं लोग। तो हम अभी तक थिंकर जैसे बैठे हैं, पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ क्या है। हम सोच रहे हैं इंजीनियर्स बहुत तेजी से भागे जा रहे हैं। बट आई गेस यस, this is there to stay. Like I remember my father used to sell typewriters, calculators, and he used to tell me that, I'll always remain in business. Because every institution, every college, every office will need a typewriter. Nobody's going to write. This was in the 80s, late 80s, came electronic typewriters, in 1 year came computers. So from selling 30 typewriters a month, it came down to 1 typewriter a month. He got wiped out in a year. And things changed. As Sonu said, then you shift to something else. When this phone came, I still remember that mobile phone came. Those days, sir, हम लोग बॉम्बे में नए आए थे. To get a landline was a 10-year waiting period. So we were new to Bombay. I used to stay with a friend, and we said, one phone we should get. Finally, we managed to get a phone somehow. And then this mobile phone came. And I still remember that friend of mine was in some fair and they were demonstrating this mobile phone. And he called me from that mobile phone and the joy he had in his voice, he said, there's no wire to this. There's no wire to this phone. I'm talking in air. Can you hear me? That time I thought it's just a phone. That phone finally ate away calculators, which also my father used to sell. It ate away cameras. That little lab we used to go to, you should show 36 photographs and go and get it developed and wait for it to come to see those photographs. Now you have photographs where एट द एयरपोर्ट सर आपके साथ रोज़ होता होगा सबके साथ कि अब वो सामने से भी फोटो लेते हैं आपके साथ, फिर सेल्फी भी लेते हैं, फिर हॉरिजॉन्टल भी लेते हैं, फिर वर्टिकल भी लेते हैं. So the lab is vanished, that lab is gone. So I think every new thing will kill something, but something else will emerge from that. I think only thing I feel sometimes is, somewhere, I don't know whether our minds get sharpened or whether they get a little dumb. Because I remember I started my life as an editor, and earlier we used to work on Steenbeck, a machine where you used to run the film, sound separately and cut it physically. Now we are working on digital machines where you're cutting, everything is getting cut digitally. You can make hundreds of options of your edit. There, once you cut, and if you want to cut again, you lose that option. You're again cutting. So we used to think a lot. I used to actually think a lot of 20 cuts ahead. Run the film ahead. If I do this, okay, here I'll insert a reaction, here I'll do this thing. Now I don't do that. I'm saying, okay, this is shot 1, let me cut shot 2. Is this working? Let me go ahead and cut it. I think our minds were sharper when we were thinking ahead. So of course we have tools which make our life easy, but I don't know whether we are dumbing our minds down in some way.
Right. I'm so sorry, I have to end this here. Shekhar has generated a new script out of AI. He also said that a boy that has worked with you for many years used AI to generate a new Mr. India script. So I think that this is uncertain times. I highly hope that all of you are correct. But I would just remember that you're talking about us being creators, or you all being creators. I was also thinking there's another part to it. In a creative process, there's also an audience. And there's a wonderful film called Her and Ex Machina about how human beings can fall in love with virtual technology, with virtual avatars of people. So I think this relationship between audience and creators, between the real and the unreal, is going to shift hugely, because you can fall in love with something that's not real. So it's what the audience will feel, the emotions you'll feel, maybe with something that doesn't exist at all, and I think that is going to impact human creativity. But I hope I'm utterly wrong and you all are right.
You're completely right. I mean, we are always falling in love with things that are not real, because if you bring reality to what you're in love with, you'll fall out of love. So I just want to say something very honestly, and I admire Raju and Javed Sahab, of course, a long time. I've never directed, ever. I get onto set and I tell myself, my job is to envelop whoever is there in a circle of love and trust and allow things to emerge. And because now I'm probably going to make what people call a sequel to Masoom, I watch it again and again, and I said, I didn't do that. It happened. Creativity, to me, I've never directed, never. I've always been there to allow things to emerge and want them to emerge. And so I can't say I created that. Something emerged. And when something emerges and you've not been particular in directing it, it has so much subtext. Different people at different ages watch it again and find something new in it. I'll find something new in it. And I'll say, I did that, but I didn't. I just allowed it to happen. That's all I do.
Wonderful. On that note, 200 to humans, none to AI. Thank you very, very, very much for being here with us and for saving sort of anxiety around AI and making us feel humans are safe. Thank you very much, all of you. It's been wonderful having you here. Thank you.